Hi, Rajiv.
Hi, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
वैसे तो मेरे को लगा कुछ बताना चाह रहे हैं शायद.
No. I just smile at you. You're looking as vibrant as ever.
Oh, good evening, sir. Rajiv sir, good evening. सर आप कैमरा एडजस्ट कर लिए. हाँ.
Hello everyone. Good evening. Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, Professor Rajiv.
Rajiv
Srivastava. Rajiv Srivastava. You are our icon. So we can never forget, to refer to you. And also, I jokingly used to say that you are our organizational memory.
Sutradhar.
How are you, ma'am? आप कैसे हैं, आशा मैम?
I'm good. So today we had a class. Hi, Vineet.
Oh, Vineet is there. Good.
Yeah, Vineet is there.
Has Professor Chakraborty joined?
I think not yet.
Okay.
Shrestha, please check.
Yeah, just check with him.
Yeah, he's joined.
Because those of us who live off campus, we have vulnerable connectivity. So we don't know.
Hi, Vineet.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening.
Hi. Good evening.
Hi.
Good to see everyone.
Yeah.
You're looking more mature than when we met once in Singapore, if you recall.
Well, the years pass and you're being polite and I'm doing it that way.
28 years, no, Vineet, since you graduated?
Yes, that's right. Excellent memory as always.
Well, long-term memory is good. Short-term memory is gone.
Maybe this is a temporary impact of COVID.
Yeah, possible.
It will come back.
Hopefully.
Everyone, we are still checking with Professor Suprito. Back into. Good evening, everyone. We are going to start the session. Sir will join in a while. Every person who has ever learned something in his or her life owes it to either a teacher, a professor, parents, friends, colleagues, or someone else for sure. IIM Lucknow has produced more than 10,000 alumni since its inception, and each one of them owe their success to a number of things that they learned over here. However, one particular reason which has been common across all alumni and students is the experience and interaction they had with the professors at IIM Lucknow. The insights, the knowledge, the immersion in corporate culture, the concern for individual students, the amicable support in times of distress. Every aspect of your style has created a significant lifelong impact on us. It is said that bonding between individuals deepens when time is limited. Perhaps that has only cemented the relationship that we share with you. Wherever you find something extraordinary, you will find the fingerprints of a great teacher, said by Arndt Duncan. As we all know, we've gathered today to celebrate Teachers' Day. Let me take this opportunity to thank all our professors who have been working very hard to teach us online, taking education to the next level. This year may have given us tough times, but our professors have surely been a ray of hope and making it as close to what a physical classroom would have been. From guiding us to motivating us, this year, our respect for teachers worldwide has grown immensely. We know it has been challenging for each one of us, but teachers have been our lockdown mentors. They have supported us throughout and helped us cope with online tests and exams. In these tough times, I would like to thank all the teachers on behalf of each and every student for your unwavering support. Thank you for guiding us, inspiring us, and making us what we are today. Special thanks to Mr. Vineet Chauhan, the president of the IIM Lucknow Alumni Association, for his constant support and encouragement and for aiding us to make this event even possible. In today's session, it is a great pleasure and honor to talk with our emeritus retired faculties, Professor Chakraborty Chakraborty and Professor Rajiv Srivastava. He did his bachelor's and master's in statistics from Indian Statistical Institute. He spent 5 years of his work life with SQC unit ISI Bombay. Later, he joined NITI, where he had been a full-time faculty for 11 years. He joined IIM Lucknow as a faculty member from the inception of IIM Lucknow, and he taught for the next 20 years. His contributions have been recognized not only as a popular teacher, but he has held several positions of significance like director in charge, dean, and chairman. He has been on the boards of many institutions, including ours, and the director on the board of several companies, including PSUs. After retiring from our college in 2005, he went on to head the Jaipuria Institute of Management in Lucknow for 7 years. For almost 5 decades, he has been engaged in teaching, research, training, and consultancy activities. He's been a member of boards of academic institutions and many other organizations. Please join us in welcoming Professor Chakraborty Chakraborty. It is an honor to have you back with us, sir. With a BTech in Mechanical Engineering from IIT Kanpur, at a time when going to IITs was just a dream, only a handful of us could realize, and a PhD in Industrial Engineering from Virginia Tech. He has devoted his entire teaching career to operations management. With close to 800 citations, his research work has resulted in one of the most comprehensive collections of operations management software in any academic institution. Our institute is privileged to have been associated with him for more than 3 decades. He talks fondly of students he taught decades ago, reads out their letters where they tell him about real-life operations problems they face in their careers. His operations management core course in the first year changes the way you think around you. A little known fact, he's the architect behind IIM Lucknow's placement controls process. I still marvel as to how someone could modify such a convoluted process into such simple tasks. Please join me in welcoming Professor Rajiv Srivastava, also known as our dear Rocky sir. He's one of the most renowned faculties of IIM Lucknow. He has been with IIM Lucknow for more than 12 years now. Currently, the Dean of IIM Lucknow Noida campus. He started his journey as the placement chairperson and later took up varied roles such as MDP chairperson and Dean of International Relations. Additionally, he taught as visiting faculty in institutes such as IIM Shillong, IIM Rohtak, IIM Jammu, and 6 international universities. He was also the area chair in marketing for 2 years at IIM Indore as the assistant professor of marketing. He has a blend of industry and academic experience. His knowledge and practical expertise extend across the fields of business, marketing, sales, and distribution. His consulting and training experience include the public sector, private companies, government departments. Moreover, case studies written by him are listed at Harvard and IIM. His elective, Applied Marketing Strategy, was awarded as the best elective by PGP and executive students of IIM Lucknow. Furthermore, he has been awarded as the best faculty of IIM Lucknow 9 times in a row. I would now like to welcome Mr. Rajiv Kumra. Next, I call upon the director in charge, Professor Archana Shukla, to welcome our beloved faculty members and the entire audience of alums. Thank you so much for joining us for the event, ma'am. A very happy Teachers' Day to all of you. Over to you.
All right. First of all, Shrestha, I am not director in charge. So I am director full-fledged. All right. So
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know where you got this term in charge. All right. Welcome to everybody, Professor Chakraborty. We fondly call him Professor Chakraborty and also Chakru sometimes, right? As students used to remember him. And Professor Rajiv Srivastava, who is Rocky for us also, right, internally, because when I joined IIM Lucknow, that time I used to, be surrounded by these people as a mentor. Right. So we used to go for their guidance and look forward to a lot of things, that how things happen here. So shaping our expectations in the institution, identity with the institution, as well as looking forward to, continue to contribute to our institution. And that feeling that we belong to this place has come because of these people. So I think IIM Lucknow owes a lot to these, veterans, and we can never part with them in our memory. So I always remember Professor Rajiv Srivastava as the memory of our organization. So we need to watch out that this is our repository. And whenever we are in doubt, whenever we are not clear about anything, when this thing happened in IIM Lucknow, so we always remember that, ask Rajiv, he would tell us that what is the genesis for it, what is the background for it. So he is always, very, very supportive and very, very charged person, energetic person. Professor Rajiv Kumra, as you already said, 9 times. So I think this is a challenge to everybody, that can somebody beat this record, right? Or maybe Professor Rajiv Kumra has to give way to others, saying that, okay, now I will not accept this any longer. Sometime back, I think Professor Yogesh Agarwal did this. All right. So possibly all, star faculty sitting here. I could also see Professor Nirja Pandey on the screen. I could see Madhumita Chakraborty, who is our alumni chair as well, professor in finance. I see Professor Prakash Singh, Soumya, Professor Sangeeta, Ajay, Amita, Priyatam Anurag, so happy Teachers' Day to all of us, right? So this is something which is a very, very august time when we are together. And I think first time we are having this kind of event where we have invited all our faculty and the alumni, including the maybe current students, to celebrate this. And this is a very nice beginning, I would say, as IIM Lucknow has celebrated 37th Foundation Day this year. I hope everybody knows about it. So we are now 37-year-old, right? And as the time passes, as Vineet was remembering that 28 years in the institute, that affiliation, and now we have 37-year history behind us. So whatever we have achieved, we celebrate that in every foundation day, and we reiterate that. And whatever still we need to achieve, so we reiterate that. We say, okay, we need to again remember that we haven't achieved possibly where we wanted to be. And I will publicly announce it, and I do this in every forum so that this is a reminder to us, so that we are committed towards this purpose and we work to make it happen collectively as a collective body here. So we need to be in top 100 institutions, globally recognized institutions. We have already started putting our efforts in that direction, and I'm happy to share with all my alumni that we are consistently ranked number 4 in the Indian ranking, NIRF, which is the only national ranking available. And we have reduced our gap from the 3rd one, which is Calcutta, and we have increased the gap from the 5th one, right? So we are in a very comfortable position, but then we need to still make impact in order to get into the 3rd one at least, right? So we do have 4th ranking reserve for us, it looks like. So we are not happy with that. So we want to break this jinx that 6 years is good enough, number 4, but it should be broken now. The next thing is that we are not available, we were not visible in the international ranking. So we made our efforts this year and FT ranking, and we hope that our PGP also will be ranked in top 100 or maybe top 150, because we are doing it first time. So far, we have not even tried this. In QS ranking, we tried, and we are bracketed in 110 rank. So which is not a, which was very good to have in the first round, because again, some of these ranking accreditations, they do not seek data from us. So they will collect data from the open sources, and alumni becomes a very important pillar for creating the perception and supportive, quality perception, because they reach out to alumni in their own way, and they look at the social media, maybe their reach is through indirect sources, secondary sources, and they do not gather any data which is calculated data by the institute and provided to them. So this is where I think our need is to reinforce the relationship with a very important stakeholder with us, who is our alumni, and we need to link with them more than the event celebrations, because so far we were remembering them only on the occasions of maybe as a mentor, maybe as a functional mentor, maybe part of induction, maybe calling them for nostalgia, maybe now we have started doing Samvad, and I think that's a good initiative, because we need to engage with them. And we need to also, first time we have involved them in the very comprehensive PGP review, and we reached out to alumni in a big way, and I think large number of alumni responded on that. So that was also a good sign that they are also equally concerned about the institute, because I see that this is a joint effort, because alumni also is going to share this brand forever, and those who relate to this brand internally, we also need to be careful about it, that we should not lose focus, we should stay current, we should have the state of the art in terms of our courses, in terms of our packaging, in terms of our class experience, so that we need to continuously work, and I think alumni are very instrumental in driving that. So I recognize their support in catching up with some of the trends, some of the recent trends. Now, this year was also very critical and challenging for the institute. Not only this year, I think this 1920 and 2021, those who have witnessed this due to pandemic, it wasn't an easy transition for us to look at this new situation, which was very challenging, and how to adapt to the online mode of teaching, online mode of maybe admission interviews, online mode of convocation, online mode of dealing with all these events. Even the Manfest got celebrated online. So we did not compromise on any activity, but it took some time initially in 1920, when all of a sudden we were, in the lockdown situation, and we didn't know how to handle it. Since then, I think we have gone a long way. And now today, the transition has been very smooth, as Shrestha already has shared the experiences that, faculty have guided them through how to write exam, how to deal with the quiz, how to deal with this online pressure, because initially it came to all of us as a pressure. Now I think we have all embraced it, and we are pretty friendly towards this mode of teaching. So we are not compartmentalizing learning as online learning or the class face-to-face learning, but always we know that face-to-face learning, there is no substitute. Right. So whenever we are in a position to see the students in campus, we definitely would like to interact with them in the classroom, maybe in the hybrid mode or whatever mode is possible. So these are some of the things which were in my mind. And I also feel that I need to share that we have started many new initiatives. As far as alumni are concerned, they should know about it. I'm not talking about the programs we have in the campus. I think I'm assuming that they are keeping themselves abreast with the what kind of programs are being offered in IIM Lucknow. So we have grown from PGP a long way, and we have some 6 programs running in the campus. And for future, what we are envisaging is that we will move in the direction of, MBA in entrepreneurship. And this is what the MBA we would like to have, possibly in a very unique manner. So we are having discussions on that, and we are going to come forward with a, course design very soon, where we may take, we have already linked with alumni who were entrepreneurs and who were into incubator kind of situations. We have consulted them in this whole process, and we are going to talk about something very unique blend, 60% maybe as a hands-on experience in the incubator, where the people who are in this program will start their own idea, and they will incubate those ideas while they are in campus and during their 2 years of stay, and 40% maybe the theory support which has to be given to them. And institute will become like a platform for launching these kinds of new ideas and new experiments, where we will provide them support. We will do the hand holding, and we have a L incubator also, IIM L incubator, where we have a lot of success stories with us. So we want to link these two initiatives together, where we want to bring in the practical inputs from the incubator side, and theoretical input will come from the institute side. And that's what academia, as well as outside stakeholders, that kind of platform and that kind of linking which is possible through this program. Second initiative which we are wanting to do now, the new direction, looking at the digital mode of learning, that we will move in the direction of e-MBA kind of programs. All right. So online program will also become a reality now. And since we have lots of now infrastructure available, we have already upgraded processes here. We have done digitalization of most of the processes. Maybe it is, everywhere, maybe in the placement, in the PGP, in the admission. So wherever it is possible, we have created those upgradations in terms of technology. We also have 4 studios here in the campus, and we can deliver the program through those. So we may go for partnership. That still we are under the process, and we are developing the mechanism how to deliver online program. The third direction in which institute is wanting to move is that we also need to catch up with the massive education, because we are still, when we talk about face-to-face, we are talking about the degree program or the diploma program, we are still talking about very limited numbers. Now the outreach and the impact of the institute has to be on the larger audience, and today it is possible because of the digital mode, and that's what we will try to build, that we will go into the MOOC space. And this, again, we are in the process of talking about it. So we are moving in these directions. Institute did not have something like public policy focus, and I got to hear from a lot of alumni, as individually also they wanted to contribute through this center, and they were wanting that some center should be there in the institute. So this we started Center for Public Policy, and under the umbrella of Public Policy Center, we have taken very meaningful projects to contribute for our country, that they are of national importance. And that's the one of the purpose behind it, that we wanted to create the impact on the policy. And here we are working very closely with the Namami Gange, that Jal Shakti Mantralaya, where, the project is asking us to develop the mechanism that what kind of economic activity should be planned around the Ganges, across 10 states, and where the local people will have a vested interest in protection of the Ganga, and they will not allow it to be polluted, whereas some economic activity also will go along on the sides of the Ganges. So we are developing on that. Plus, we are also helping the government on the skill development mission, where there is a lot of need in capacity building at the level of urban development. And we have taken up that challenge. And first time, a cohort of 100 plus students who will be selected by us, and they will be coming here. The government is going to support us in that, and they will be given stipend to these candidates, and we will be doing 2-year hand-holding with them, right? And we will expose them to the realities of the urban development and giving them meaningful projects and all that. So I think these two are very important things to begin with. Plus, we are also doing a lot of skill development with the help of Uttar Pradesh government as well. We have signed lots of MOUs. The policy is going to stay here, and as a premier institution, I believe that we need to be visible in that space, and we need to be in a position to get into those meaningful positions and associations with the government where we start impacting the policy. And that's one of the intent of the institute as we go ahead. So I think we have many things to share, but I think this evening, I will not tell you too many developments on the institutional front, and we are game for that. But we also, invite all our, and we give an open call to our alumni that please, if you have any idea, reach out to us. We are willing to listen to you, and we want more and more of it, right? And because we need to be on the right track with your support. And since now alumni are also part of our board, and as you know that there are 3 alumni already are board members. So when you are part of the governance, I think that you should be knowing that what is happening in the institute, in what direction institute should move, as all of us are very passionate about our institute. So I love my institute, and so is the case with every alumni, I believe, right? So with this, and this year, before I close my formal thing addressed to you, I will celebrate my alumni success. You could see one after the other, they are reaching the top positions, and we are so happy looking at their achievements, because we were always wanting to have these visibilities. We said that, okay, when are we going to be in that bracket where we also say our alumni mostly are CEOs, or they are reaching the top positions, they are the MDs. So lots of success stories this year. Sailesh is the one who has given us the global kind of benchmark to set now, right? So I'm very happy, and we celebrate your success. We will also, Professor Madhumita always comes to me and she says that how do we develop more association and more partnership and collaboration with alumni? So very soon we are going to firm up our strategy to communicate with you regularly and engage with you in terms of several other roles, right? 2 ways. Vineet always says that it should not be one way, it should be 2 way. So I'm keeping that always in my mind, that it should be 2 way, that not only institute wants to draw upon from the alumni expertise and experience, but institute also is supposed to give back something to their development, possibly at different junctures of their life. And that's what we say, continuous learning. So can we build some mechanism inside the organization where alumni also look forward to, because lots of new things are being developed, possibly they can also be educated on that, and there can be a opportunity provided for those programs, maybe focused program, maybe batch wise or whatever. So we will talk about it later. So thank you, Shrestha. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And thank you, Professor Madhumita. Now you please carry on, because we are all eagerly waiting to listen to Professor Chakraborty and Professor Rajiv Srivastav and Professor Rajiv Kumra. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You bring in so much enthusiasm to every discussion. It just sets the mood for the next. Thank you, ma'am. So we'll move on to the panel discussion. Professor Chakraborty, welcome to the event. If you can confirm, if you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, Shrestha.
Professor, could you confirm? I can't hear you. Since this is a panel discussion, I'm just checking the audio.
Yeah, audible to me.
Professor Chakraborty, are you able to hear us?
he can hear, I guess.
We are not able to hear you.
Could somebody get on the phone with him and check if it's if the connection is okay?
Sure.
Ketan may get connected.
Ma'am, we'll do that in parallel. I'll move on to the next question then. Professor Srivastava, if you can answer this question for us.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
We are very, very eager to know from you, what are those special moments that you would cherish even today as a faculty at IIM Lucknow?
Big loaded question. Of course, the question paper was leaked, so I know what the question is. Rather than special moments, I would probably call it, experiences and memories. But before I proceed answering the question, thanks to Alcom, Shrestha, and the others. Thanks to Madhumita and Professor Archana Shukla to reach out to me to share my thoughts. My own best wishes to all the teachers who have influenced all our lives or friends. Some teachers are like that. Some are mentors, and some, rightly or wrongly, we perceive as being tormentors. But actually, it is the tormentors that we remember the best, because they are the ones who develop our character. For all those of you alumni who have suffered at my hands, in whatever form, it is all with a purpose. And one of the memories or experiences is when people come back several years later and say, now we know what you were trying to do when you insisted on something being done in a particular way. And I said, why didn't you say that when you were a student? And they say, no, we didn't know it was that way. Okay, so I will also like to give special regards to my own teachers, one of whom is in the panel actually, is Professor Chakraborty, who was my own hostel warden at NITI. And later on, IIM Lucknow's first student affairs chairman and second PGP chairman. And the late Professor S.K. Singh was my PGP chairman at NITI. He was IIM Lucknow's first PGP chairman. Sadly died, very tragically about 15 years ago. And a little joke before we begin, just or banter actually, that I used to exchange with Professor Chakraborty when he was a student, when I was a student. So banter is, what brings out energy. So the banter was that one Professor Chakraborty was trying to lose weight at that time, and he said, my goal is to reach 60 kg. And I said, my goal is also to reach 60 kg. Unfortunately, he got to 60 kg, but I never did. So my weight never changed. This is a kind of banterful relationship that I think works best, in teaching. It's not always about formal instruction, which brings an emotional connect rather than, just the teaching per se. My first memory of IIM Lucknow, since you asked, was actually a blackout in class, literal blackout. I blacked out in class. Just come back from the US. This is August, mid-August, and hot. 3 feet away from that tin asbestos sheet, and dropping kids to school and daycare and everything, and suddenly, everything snapped and I blacked out in class. And PGP 6 is the class that I was teaching at that time. I was in class, and within 5 minutes, Dr. Hirad Nani was 5 or 10 minutes. He was standing next to me. So I don't know how they mobilized it. I was blacked out. So that was my first, memory. And at that time, I was teaching just 10, 15 students and 45 in PGP1. That was one section. But suddenly I noticed, somewhere in the first year itself, that people I didn't even know would wish me. And this was new to me because it didn't happen in the US certainly that way. People would just drop in, students would just drop in for a chat, and occasionally we would share a little chai. The canteen was not very organized. I think we got a lot more out of those interactions, than a very formal setup. And that continues. The professional mentoring continues even today. So that's really something I look forward to. Alumni mail, especially if somebody says, I'm contemplating a career in academics, and can you write me a recommendation for a PhD program? I drop everything and I write the reco. And I'm happy to report that many of them have gone ahead with that. And it had a side benefit also. That sometimes a relative or a college mate or a city neighbor meets an IIM Lucknow student, and they would mention me, and they would come back, "Arey, tumko pata hai tumhara naam Rocky hai?" And so I got to know my nickname actually from a neighbor source rather than from the students or the faculty member. So that's how the loop got closed. And once in a while, a student, a class would deliver a hand scribbled thank you note. And I remember when I was PGP chair, I was ill. I got down with jaundice, which took me out for 3 weeks. And they made a big poster with their signatures and, thank you or get well soon. In the meantime, we'll be good boys and girls. Of course, they weren't. Because they took full advantage of the PGP chair's absence. But some things like that stick in the memory. And more now, of course, since I'm not in the campus, but coincidentally, just 10 days back, I bumped into somebody in the airport lounge at Delhi airport. I was coming to Lucknow actually, and this is Vinit knows him, Amresh Acharya. I think silver medalist from the class of 92. He bumped into me and he recognized me, despite the masks and everything. So I duly, I meet lots of people this way. So these are some memories, so they take photographs, they post them on their class WhatsApp groups. So these are some memories rather than special moments per se. Okay. Yeah, Shrestha, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I wish I was a student. That's all I can say. I'll move on to Professor Kumra. Sir, you are audible. Hello. I'm so sorry, Professor Kumra. Just a minute.
He's on
Professor
mute.
Chakraborty, can you hear me? Okay, can you speak once, sir?
He's on mute.
No, sir. So I'm asking Professor Chakraborty.
Oh, Chakraborty. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm so glad. So, sir, Professor Chakraborty, you taught for 20 years. So, could you share how the teaching changed from the first batch till the last batch and what really evolved throughout the process?
Let me share with you how we began. Because since I was there right from the very beginning, so 1985, when the first batch came in, we tried to clarify that what kind of a discipline management is. Okay? And we said management is interdisciplinary, though often made multidisciplinary in execution. So how do we make sure that we retain that interdisciplinariness and do not slip into that multidisciplinary way of doing things? To clarify further, multidisciplinary means what? Marketing plus finance plus operations plus HR plus IT system, etc., etc. It is a plus model. Interdisciplinary is multiple. Marketing into finance, into operation, into IT system, into this. Now, the big question that came before us right in the very beginning is conceptually it is fine, but how do you operationalize it? So we created 6 themes to develop the PGP program. Number one theme was integration, meaning whatever we are teaching, these things should get meaningfully integrated in students' mind. What do we do to achieve that? Second, we clarified to ourselves that we are not in the business of information passing, but we are in the business of facilitating learning happen, making learning happen rather than passing on information. Third, we talked about that how do we create awareness of the environment, namely social environment, economic environment, geopolitical environment, so that people become aware of the environmental realities of the time. Fourth was building the ability of learning to learn, because you are very sure whatever we tell them, in few years' time, it will become obsolete. So how do they survive after that? So develop that ability of learning to learn, right? Then number 5 was be comfortable with the tools. Those early days, not many were very familiar with using computers. Don't look at today, look at 1985. What were the realities then? So we wanted to make sure that students become familiar, students become easy on using computer. And last part, where I think we did not succeed to the extent that we thought we would, creating the social system around the institute, which will reinforce whatever we are doing in the classroom. So with these 6 themes, we designed the postgraduate program. I see Sanjeev Govill's name flashing there. Now, he was one of the recipients of that program. And when I met them during their 25th reunion, first batch, I asked them that, look, whatever assumptions we made about social, economic, geopolitical, none of them seems to have stayed very long. How are you still holding on? How are you still growing? How are you still progressing in life? And they, all of them, unanimously told me, sir, it is the values inculcated in us that really is holding us. It is the foundation that is holding us well. So that was briefly the start. I can go on, but that is not fruitful. I'll cut the time there. Listening to Rajiv as he was remembering his student days at NITI, as he said that we had both of us as the same target. I was overweight. I wanted to reach 60 kilos. Rajiv was grossly underweight. He wanted to reach 60 kilos. As he said, I did manage to reach 60, but Rajiv could not. I hope he's 60 now. I don't know. Age-wise, he's certainly more than that, but weight-wise, he would know how much is his weight. And your other question that you raised to Professor Rajiv was, what are the special moments? I totally agree with him. It is the emotional connect with the students rather than anything else. Because I never consider myself as a teacher. I thought I am only a learning facilitator. Onus of learning is with the students. They will learn provided right kind of environment is created for them. So I used to have that relationship with the students, the emotional bonding, and that fortunately stays even now. Lot of alumni members keep contacting us on some kind of I see Vivek reminding me about my 6-minute quizzes in a brown envelope. Yes, I was known as the brown envelope man. Used to get into the classroom with a brown envelope. And there are lot of stories written by the students about the brown envelope thing. And in 5th batch, one student, the last class, kept the brown envelope as a souvenir, saying that, sir, I'll keep this envelope as a souvenir. I said, go ahead. I think I should stop now rather than going on speaking. But all in all, for me at least, it was a very, very satisfying journey of teaching, working with my students all through. And even today, I enjoy meeting them. I enjoy interacting with them. I enjoy every moment that I'm able to spend with them. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Proceed.
sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor. Professor Kumra.
Yeah, so thank you for asking me this question. First of all, thank you for inviting me. I somehow feel a bit embarrassed sitting in the this August gathering and specifically sitting in front of professors like Professor Srivastav and Professor Chakraborty. But let me put it like this, that I am like representing the faculty, current faculty. So I will take it that way. So first of all, indeed, I'm thankful to all those mentors who saw more than what I saw in myself. So that's what is one of the best moments. I will just share one of the moments when I joined teaching profession after leaving the industry, and then some of the emotional moments. As rightly said by Professor Rajiv, I think we connect with the students more emotionally, and that's what makes us makes this profession so beautiful. I remember when I shifted from industry, and my first day at IIM Indore when I joined. So there was a Professor Parashar, he was the director at that point of time. I had worked in sales and marketing at various levels, so I thought, इसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात है, मतलब पढ़ाना कौन सी इससे बड़ी बात है. And then he called me in his office and said, look, we have a feedback system, and the feedback has to be at least above 3.5. In these 2 years you are on probation and you have joined at the very low level as assistant professor, you will be otherwise asked to go. So I was used to these kind of insecurities in private, so I thought, इसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात है. I went to the class. The very first class was almost like I was looking at the watch and thinking ये कब खत्म होगी. मतलब मेरे को ऐसे I felt so much of pressure. मुझे लगा 1.5 घंटा पढ़ाते कैसे मेरे को आज समझ में. Then I realized that this is not that easy as what it looks like when you especially come from industry. आप कहानियां बना लेते हैं industry में, मगर when you have to do a structured delivery, it has to be a very different format and it has to be very structured, और आपको knowledge deliver करनी है. It is not just not that what my company do, what I have learned. It's just not stories. So this is one of the very first moment. So I think then I had very senior persons in IIM Indore who guided me how to teach. They actually took me to the class, picked up a chalk and said, "Is tarah se board plan ye hota hai." I learned all those. So that's what I feel very happy about. But I will like to share there are many, but I will like to share one personal emotional moment, I think. So in my 21 years of career of teaching, there are many, but I would like to share one specific moment which reminds me, is that during December 2020, though it's very personal, but I will still share. During December 2020 was the time when I lost my mother, and she was very close to me because I lost my father quite early. So she has like literally lived with me. So I was learning to live with that pain and loss of losing someone that is so significant in your life. And this was the time when I will not tell you the name, but she is one of the alum. She called me up, and sorry, light has gone on my side, but am I audible?
You are, sir. You are.
Thank you. So she called me up, and she said that I read you have written on some of the social media about your mother loss, and I was, and then she said that Professor, I have also lost my mother, and I'm the only child. And henceforth, I'm feeling so out of the place and I'm so lost. So it surprised me so much. And she said that my dad is slightly a close person. So I thought of talking to you. It surprised me so much that how different we are, yet how much of the pain we both relate to. And I could share her pain and I could tell her that how to overcome it, what am I doing to overcome this. So then that's the moment I realized that, look, we are just not in the class delivering some lectures and going out. It's just not 1.5 hours of relationship. It's just not a relationship outside in the canteen talking about different things. Like I talk about gym, I talk about physical things, but that's not what is defines us as a teacher. We actually carry our personality to the class, and somehow, somewhere, students start seeing you as a parental figure. I felt so happy that they ask for the guidance. They share their pain with me. I think I don't think they remember me in the good times and bad times. So I don't think that any profession is worth it. So there are so many moments. This is just one of it, which explains the kind of relationship which teachers enjoy with the student. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Professor. I wish we get to share a cup of tea, food with you in the mess someday when the pandemic allows us. Professor Srivastava, if you could answer this. So, a professor like you has had an impact on 1,000 is a very small number, I think, of young minds. But is the other way true as well? Did any student have a significant impact on you and your career or your way of teaching? Sir, you are on mute. You could please unmute, sir.
Yeah, this was an unleaked question. So I'm not prepared for this. One learns.
Surprise quiz,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. One learns from everybody and every experience. There is learning in every little thing. So some students I have learned from actually. From a few, I have learned, the 5-point someone way. What not to do, but they do it all the same. And it takes a long time. But there are some from whom I have actually learned, how to cope with adversity. Rajiv Kumra was mentioning, even right now, as I was teaching IPMX, in term 1, one of the students lost her mother to COVID. I think in this would have been May or June, if I'm not mistaken. So how to cope with that kind of adversity? I have not faced that kind of adversity. So and there are people who have actually even earlier. I remember Ankit Godha lost his mother while I was teaching a course actually. So that is one. Adversity of the kind that I have personally never experienced in life. And there are once in a while a student comes in with an experience that I have never seen myself. I remember some conversations and emails with students even while they were in class, talking about some subject, and he related. It's confidential, so I can't share it with you right now. And that became part of my knowledge base, forever. So sometimes it is for things that one should not be doing, and sometimes it is for things that you should be doing. But actually, the other thing which I forgot to mention, actually, one of the lead questions was that, how different do you think it is in these 30 years? Actually, come to think of it, it is not so much the students who have changed. It is me who has changed. So when I came, I was, an elder brother, maybe 5-10 years older than the students, or a young uncle maybe. Now, even the older students are several years younger than even my younger daughter. So I'm just dreading the day when there are people my grandchildren's age in the class. So that's the best that I can do right now. Okay. Right. Over to you, Shrestha.
Yes. Professor Chakraborty, would you be willing to answer the next question? Please unmute.
Yes, should.
So, sir, we would like to ask you if, with the kind of experience that you've had and the impact on students, uh, what would be your advice for all the alumni who is viewing this event right now in their current life and career?
Before I answer your question, let me share 2-3 experiences of classroom. The
Sure,
same
sir.
question which you asked Rajiv.
Definitely.
You know, third batch, I used to teach all kinds of things. Are you able to hear me, no?
I can.
Hello?
I can. I
Yeah,
can.
you can.
Yes.
Third batch, first 7 batches I taught quant. First term, quantitative analysis for management. Quam 1, they used to lovingly call it or hatingly call it. So, third batch, I was teaching 3-4 sessions done. Suddenly, one of the students said, "You're not teaching anything." I said, "Meaning?" He said, "No, no, you teach us those formulas, those equations, those things. Then only we know that you are teaching something. Otherwise, what is going on?" Yeah. I said, "Look, where to use those equations, where to use those formulas, how to go about doing that is what I am doing. But if you want me to do that, a lot of time will get lost of the classroom." So I asked, sorry. So I asked the entire class, "What do you want?" They said, "No, no, the way you are proceeding is fine. Please proceed that way only." That was one experience. I think somewhere beneath batch, 7th batch, in my research methodology class, you know, those days we used to have a compulsory course on research methodology, and I taught that for all 20 years. So, research methodology class, one girl, after 4-5 sessions, was asking her neighbor in the classroom, "Any idea what he's teaching?" So that gave me another very interesting insight that if the students are not having any idea what I am teaching, then what on earth I am really doing here? So I thought I will share. I have many more, which guided me to do things more meaningfully for the students. Your question was, what do I tell the alumni? You know, alumni is at various ages now. Because if you look at class of 1987, they are probably coming close to retirement. So I need to tell them about retirement rather than much more about career advancement. But one thing which I think Archana was mentioning about Shailesh Jejurikar. Shailesh Jejurikar made sure that he joined Procter & Gamble from the campus. And I asked Shailesh, "Why did you join this?" He told me, "Sir, there is a perfect value match. My values and P&G values match very well." So alumni, at whatever stage of their life they are, instead of running after money, running after position, I think they must first ensure that value match. And if Shailesh is there in the group, I would only say, "Shailesh, you are where you are today because of that value match." Thank you.
Sir. Thank you. Professor Kumra, you spoke about the bonding that you've had with students outside classroom, right? Outside the formal way of teaching. We've been stuck in an online mode for quite some time now, and you have been teaching students in the online mode with your AMS course. So, what do you think has really changed the bonding between the teacher and student in this online mode? And can you share an example or an experience where you found that significant difference?
Yeah, very interesting, because I think like the current professors, we have this unique experience of teaching offline and online both. Because of COVID, this has happened. For last 2 years we are teaching, and we really don't know how long it will go. So what are the interesting things which has happened online? There are many. Just to tell you first is when, honestly speaking, this year it is less cumbersome and less troublesome. Last year it was, we were quite anxious. So there is something in marketing what we call a socialization, which is like the parents and the teachers teaching the younger crowd. And there is also something called as reverse socialization, which is you learn from the students. So I think online has made us learn more. So whenever I have a difficulty, I know whom to go. We don't call up the computer center. It is, I don't do that. In the class, I will immediately ask the student ke kya karna, and they will tell us ke how to overcome it. So I think this is one thing I have learned. So I'm learning from the students online, to be honest, how to manage the class. A. B, online has given us a lot of advantages, like specifically sharing assignments, posting the class notes, everything getting recorded. So there is a lot of advantages of online. How the relationships have changed? Yes, for example, look at some of the finer points. For example, class participation. When the cameras usually, I have a class fortunately at 10:30 so called, but then 10:30 is too early for the students because they sleep at 3. So most of them do not open up their camera at 10:30. And I can understand maybe they are not comfortable because they are not in the proper dress. But when it is a college is going on, when it's a physical, they come to the class. So you can see them what is happening. And also the biggest advantage is, while because all of us are senior teachers, when we look at the face of the student, we can make out that whether he is interested, he's listening, he has got it, he has not got it. Those things are absent, especially when video is not there. So I have devised different ways to do it. Of course, it's not. So that's one thing which I miss, that there is a participation, or specifically the involvement of the students. You cannot judge. So what I have devised is, for example, I'll ask stupid questions in between. Are you awake? Type Y or type N. So I will come to know, and I'll say I'm counting each one of you. So if everyone has to type Y, so at least I know that they are listening. And so like this, I will ask some stupid questions. Is it Sunday today? Type Y N. So it may be related, may not be related, or something like this. I will make some fun in class. And so this ensures me that they are listening. They are just not like having some good time. So, but the advantage of online is that other way it has increased the participation. Like everyone, specifically the students who are introvert, are very easily typing in the chat box. So that has given, so it's a plus and minus. I think there's a lot of good and bad side of online. But yes, if you ask me honestly, which was the good, I will any day vote for face to face. I will love to come back, interact with the students, because seeing someone in flesh and blood is something really interesting. So I miss my students, I miss the classes. All of us, I think, all professors will say the same. Unfortunately, COVID has made things worse. So online has its advantages, but I think we all are a bit old, so we are not that tech savvy. We don't like, we are not a Instagram, that selfie crowd who loves. So if I see my son, for example, he's 24/7 on computer. He doesn't feel uncomfortable. But professors like us, if we sit for a long on the computer, we start feeling uncomfortable. Whereas if you ask us to take a class for 6 hours straight, I think all of us will be very comfortable doing it in physical mode. So I think though our energies are saved of traveling, but we get charged by looking at students, their responses, and their participation. So participation has not affected much. But yeah, physical connect after the class. What happens? You see, when the class is over, the student has to go to the other class. There's no interaction in the evenings. Earlier, what used to happen? We will meet in the canteens. We can meet on the pathways. We can meet in the gym. We can meet at so many places and talk everything under the sun. That's not happening. So that socialization, which was happening earlier between the faculty, and that what I miss every day, that चाय पे जो गप लगाते थे, जो बकर जिसे कहते हैं, वो that I am missing with the students after the class. So, yeah.
Thank you, professors. Next, we have all thanking from the entire PGP 36 batch to all the people who have joined, all you wonderful teachers and professors. And we have a poem recitation followed by a song. Ethan, it's not audible. Could you play it again with the audio?
Teachers are an integral part of every student's life. Here is an expression of what you all mean to us. You are the light that guides us through darkness and haze, the eminent force to direct us in life's maze. With selfless acts of kindness and care, you enlighten lives with the wisdom you share. A part of you grows in the heart of masses, who you inspire and build way beyond the walls of classes. With my personal experience of being enlightened to grow into the person I am, which I'm sure will be synonymous for many others, I, Soumya Bhandari, on behalf of the Literary Club of IIM Lucknow, would like to present a short poem in gratitude and respect to all the professors. On treacherous paths we walk uptight, blessed as we are to be guided right. The spark you emit is direction for all, making sure NBA doesn't take us in for it all. Gratitude for you is a word too trivial. This rendezvous has made your presence pivotal. It isn't just me, but also eminent personalities who carry the love and mark embodied by their wonderful teachers and appreciate them in their art. Here's a poem by George William, Star Teachers. Even as the birds praise many colored fires, the plumes of paradise, the dying light, race through the fevered air in misty spires that vanish in the heights. These myriad eyes that look on me are mine. Wandering beneath them, I have found again the ancient ample moment, the divine, the God root within men. For this the lights innumerable, as symbols shine that we the true light win. For every star and every deep they fill, are stars and deeps within. Thank you to all the professors.
Now have a song. Catch.
यादों के पुराने एल्बम में छुपा के रखे थे हमने वो दिन गुल्लक में पड़ी चपन्नी सी बचा के रखे थे हमने वो दिन ना किसी मंजिल की फिक्र थी जिंदगी जीने की उम्र थी दोस्ती और दोस्तों से उधार के दिन थे वो दिन भी क्या दिन थे वो दिन भी क्या दिन थे याद है फिल्मों के पुराने आरडी बरमन के वो गाने बैठ के कीबोर्ड के और गिटार के दिन थे वो दिन भी क्या 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 दिन
So we've got a lot of wishes on our chat box through our live YouTube broadcast. Might not be able to see it, professors, but the people on YouTube just told me, actually, chat here also reflects it. Yeah, exactly. So these are the kind of wishes and love that is coming. So I would like to conclude the session from our end, and thank you all for joining. We loved hosting it even more. We feel proud to be associated with such lovely people. And I would now request the Professor Madhumita Chakraborty to address the audience.
Shrestha, Madhumita, just 30 seconds. Sorry for intruding into this. I couldn't help, saying this. When I see Sanjeev Govil in the frame today, Sanjeev Govil is from the first batch of IIM Lucknow, and not many of you would know that his son has joined IIM Lucknow in the first year this year. And I see both Sanjeev and his son together in this meeting, as I see both of them together in this meeting. So it's a very unique that both father and son
wonderful
joining this event in different capacities. One as an alum for the senior for the first senior batch, senior most batch, and one a current person who's just started his journey in IIM Lucknow. So
super.
Can
we see them also together? Ajay, can we see them together?
Abhishek, will you please
switch on your
video? Okay. Not many would have known this. And sorry, Sanjeev, in case I've let something out. Okay, because I have always known this along for the last 4 months, but sorry for leaking it out.
No, this is a very, very, fascinating.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much, Professor Ajay. I think it's a privilege that you are the first batch being the first batch, and then now your son is also studying from the same institution. And obviously, as a first batch, we have long list of memories which we went through, and particularly with Professor Chakraborty, we know what all we went through when we established this institution. So I think there is a long list, and maybe sometime when time permits, one will like to share it. So thank you very much for inviting and giving this opportunity, and a very happy Teachers' Day to all the teachers who have taught us and wherever, and to do whatever we are doing today. Thank you.
Where is your son?
Abhishek, just say something.
On the screen.
Yeah, it's on the screen.
Abhishek, say something to become prominent. Okay, say hi.
Yeah.
Hello.
Raise your hand and say hi.
Abhishek, are you?
Yes. Hello.
Yes.
On my screen, they are on both left and right hand side of Ajay. Yeah. Great.
Okay.
Great to see.
Yeah.
And incidentally, just for the benefit of this group, Abhishek visited with me when we came for our 25th celebration in 2012, and attended a class with us, with then director and with the PGP chair and everybody. So I know, and we obviously the photographs were clicked. So now when we look at it, and now when come 2021, he is also possibly will be going to the same class. So it's full circle which has come around. So I'm sure there may be more cases, but definitely this is one case where father is the first batch, and now the son has also gone into the same institution.
Many of you may not know, Govil's first son has graduated from IIM Indore.
Okay.
So definitely, sir.
Okay, I think we had a lovely evening today. First of all, I think I must thank the alumni to think that they want to come and connect with us. This is a wonderful initiative, and we really loved the evening with you together. I could see the messages flowing in through the YouTube live streaming. We could not accommodate everybody on Zoom lest we lose connection. So our LCOM here suggested that let's have the alumni on the YouTube. So we don't have them here, but you could have seen the flow of messages that have come across from them. My heartfelt thanks to the alumni for showing such a wonderful gesture on this day of the teachers. Actually, I also like to thank our director ma'am for giving the kickstart to this program with such an enthusiasm and informing us and our alumni about how the institute is progressing and how we can build ties with the alumni so that we can make a real progress. Thank you, Rajiv Srivastava sir, Shubrata Chakraborty sir, and Rajiv Kumra sir for joining us and making this evening and remembering all the beautiful times that you had here. I'm sure the alumni could recollect the beautiful moments they had here. All the faculty colleagues who are here and who could not join, thanks to all of you. It's all of us together that make this place beautiful. And I'm sure it's a day for us and we have celebrated it with your presence or not, but we know that we are all together in this building of the Institute. Alcom, as much as I thank you, it is less because it is without your enthusiasm, we would not be able to do as much as we are able to do today. So thanks a lot. Vineet ji, it's like awesome. You're always there to, tell us how we take things forward. And to all the alumni, we really want, to do things together. And as ma'am was telling you that we really want to know from you and have ideas from you. That is how we take the institute forward. So you are a very strong asset for us. And let's stay connected. Let's build bridges. Let's know how we do things together. So I think if I've missed anybody, it is inadvertent, but my heartfelt thanks goes to everybody. So I think we call it a day, and if there is anything else to say, you may please say, otherwise we can wind up. Shrestha, is there anything left or can we wind up?
We can wind up, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all.
Thanks everybody. Thanks everybody. Thank you so much.
A very happy Teachers' Day to everyone.
Thank you.
All that is fine, but where do we meet the alumni?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll just have a meeting. You will be getting a request, sir, on your screen.
Yeah, we had to meet them through the YouTube streaming because we could not accommodate everybody on Zoom.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.